We've talked about several methods for solving quadratic equations, and completing the square is another one of those methods. It's also used for other things, but we're not going to talk about those right now. So let's just write in our notes a few examples of how completing the square works. What's great about completing the square that doesn't happen with factoring is that it works for any quadratic equation. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with an example. Suppose we've got v squared plus 6v minus 59 equals 0. Okay, the first thing we want to do is get just the v squared and the v term on one side and the constant term on the other side. So we're going to rewrite this as v squared plus 6v, leave a space, equals 59. Now notice that what I really did was add 59 to both sides. I didn't necessarily write that down. Okay. We're going to take this 6v, we're going to divide it by 2, that gives me 3, and then we're going to square it, so 3 squared is 9. I'm going to add 9 to both sides. Now, why I wrote this 3 down here is because it's going to be part of my v plus 3 squared. Notice that v plus 3 squared is the same as v squared plus 6v plus 9. And then over here I've got 59 plus 9, which gives me 68. Okay, now we've got something squared equals a number. We can take the square root of both sides. So v plus 3 equals the square root of 68, or v plus 3 equals negative root 68. Two solutions. The square root of 68, that's not a perfect square, so we're just going to subtract 3 from both sides and leave that as a square root. V equals negative 3 plus root 68, or v equals negative 3 minus root 68. Okay, you could simplify root 68 a little bit. We're going to talk about that kind of stuff later, so for right now we're going to leave our two solutions like this. Notice that we could not have solved this problem using factoring, because those aren't factors that we could have pulled out. Alright, our second example, x squared minus 10x equals negative 30. So same thing here. We're going to divide by 2, and then we're going to square and add to both sides. Alright, so we're going to have x squared minus 10x. We're going to leave a little space, equals negative 30. If we divide by 2, we get a negative 5. Then square it, and we get 25. So we're going to add 25 there, we're going to add 25 here. So this is going to be x minus 5 squared equals negative 5. When we go to take the square root of both sides here, we get x minus 5 equals plus or minus the square root of negative 5. For now, square roots of negatives mean no solution, because that would give us an imaginary solution. So we'll write no real solutions.